I have learned a lot about treaties and my relationship to them this past semester. I've decided to represent that growth through an online graphing calculator in the form of pictures. I've chosen this method of representation because math is what connects me to place and people. My pedagogical views have drastically changed due to my furthered education, only possible because of my love for math. Math has brought me closer to people of many different backgrounds and cultures. The first picture that I show is a picture of a house. The house required only a few functions, functions 24 to 31 on the left side of the screen, to create it, and I believe Canada can be compared to this fact. This place seems simple, but on the inside, it can be a very nasty place with a difficult history. Canada is our home, though, and it's only due to the sacrifice of the Indigenous population that we share this beautiful land. My furthered education and appreciation for Canada has made me curious about true Canadian history that hasn't been taught in high school. I've developed a sense of sadness due to the lack of education around the true history of Canada's inception. The next drawing that I made was a picture of my name. My name required more functions, functions 1 to 23 on the left side of your screen, than the house did. And I think this is a metaphor for names being a challenge for Indigenous people. This semester has taught me the importance of names and how they have a deep meaning to Indigenous culture. Indigenous people have been marginalized due to the color of their skin, and settlers have created names that further this marginalization. These names are damaging to everyone because they create a division between groups. The fact that all Indigenous people have not settled on one term seems to bother some people. Vowel page 8. This is important for us to realize because Indigenous people aren't the only group of people that have multiple names. I have multiple names that come in the form of nicknames, and people accept me regardless of my nicknames. This should be the case for every person from every background, regardless of the name that they prefer. The final drawing that I made is a picture of a cross. This is important to me because I've been raised as a Christian, and learning about the atrocities that the church has done is saddening. The crimes committed and the acts to cover them up is disgusting and unforgivable. We don't even know how many children died inside the walls of these schools because of the cover up. I have taken for granted the education system set in place now because it's the only system that I've ever seen. I didn't have to endure the criminal acts conducted by the churches to Indigenous peoples in the residential schools, and for that I'm grateful. Finding a connection between the pictures of the cross and the home, we see that the horrible acts of the church on Indigenous peoples' homelands, which is represented by the picture of the home, hasn't been taught in the schooling system due to the cover up of the church. This is a flaw because we need to study our history to ensure that it doesn't repeat itself. This semester has been incredibly eye opening for me, and I'm forever grateful for the knowledge that I've gained. I will hold myself accountable to educate the youth about the true Canadian history, whether it be a difficult truth or not. To me, being in a position of power with the knowledge about Canada's history gives me the ability to use Tap Waywin.